we go. Okay, thank you. We're back. And this is episode 2. And we're talking about, what if we ever had to use these skills. And avoiding being targeted. And the first thing is don't do this. I'm gonna express my true and honest opinion to a degree, and basically I haven't abided by all of it, but at this point I don't really care. But don't do videos like this, because this will get you targeted. And so avoid the internet and YouTube completely, really. The government keeps track, whether you want to believe it or admit it or not. The government keeps track of everything everybody does. The reason that your library has little scan cards and keeps track of what books that you check out is because the government's keeping track of it. You can go to your little history and see what books you've checked out and all that. Well, the reason they do that is so that they can check and see what books you've checked out and see what you're doing at the library. That's the reason you have to sign in and log into stuff, so that they can keep track of where you're going and what you're doing. It's, it doesn't take a psychologically defective person like myself to see that. Well, actually, maybe it does. But, yeah, avoid internet and YouTube topics like this. So, avoid checking out books at the library about this kind of stuff. Give false and misleading information, and that works. Basically, if you do videos, denounce people like me. Say we're crazy. Oh no, that's not what's happening. Make sure you're on the side, or at least appear to be on the side of the people that are going to do it and win. Because I'm telling you right now, if and when something like that ever occurs, rebels are not going to win the fight. It's just not going to happen. The Empire will beat the rebels, believe me. That's just how it's going to happen. Now, that's never stopped me from fighting the good fight, even though I never expected to win in the first place. Being the underdog is somewhat kind of a thing for me. But, yeah, I wouldn't even watch videos if I was younger and serious about surviving something like that. I would avoid like the plague anything that remotely put me in a position to appear that I was going to be against the government. But make sure that you give false and misleading information on a regular basis and keep it consistent. As an example, if you were going to bug out, which I personally think is the best thing to do, bugging in for short periods of time, okay. But in realism, movement, constant movement, is really the only way people are going to survive. Maybe not at the very beginning, but once it gets going, movement is what's going to keep people to survive. It really is. So let's say you're going to bug out, and everybody knows that you love Idaho, and you talk nothing but wanting to move to Idaho and how you love Idaho, and if anything ever happens, straight to Idaho. You better be lying about that, and you better be planning on somewhere else like Maine or New York or Rhode Island, who knows, just anywhere but Idaho. So, and be consistent about it. If you're going to talk about stuff like that on the internet, that's fine. Tell your buddies and your friends and everybody you meet how much you love Idaho and how you can't wait to get there. Fantastic. But make sure that it's not the truth. Because if they're really looking for you and they really want to find you, they're going to Idaho. And if you're really there, you're done. So just make sure that the information you do give is false, misleading, and inaccurate. Boost yourself up about it too. As an example, let's say that you live in a small community and everybody knows your name. Everybody knows that you're the crazy guy that lives down at the end of the corner, who's the prepper, psycho guy who used to fight in cages and this, that, and the other. Make sure everybody hears that. Make sure everybody knows that you're crazy. Make sure everybody knows that somebody that steps onto your lawn or somebody that tries to break into your house is never going to leave your house once they break in. Make sure everybody understands that. Make sure everybody understands that when they walk into your house, they're going to have to avoid certain spots on your floor because they may blow up. Make sure everybody understands if they come in your yard, they may lose a foot. Now, granted, that sort of stuff is illegal, but that doesn't mean it's really there. Make sure they understand that you have 80 guns in all parts of your house and property. Whether you do or not, who cares? You may have nothing. It doesn't really matter as long as people believe it. Because if you get a reputation, whether it's true or not, it's going to spread and people's going to understand that. Now, if you want people to leave you alone and not bother you, which I do. I don't want people bothering me. I don't want people knocking on my door. I don't talk to my neighbors. I don't even know who they are. I don't even think I've ever had a conversation with either one of them in any length of time. Maybe a nod here or there, or hey, how's it going? Keep your dog out of my yard, or hey, stuff like that. I've never had a meaningful. I don't even know their names. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you who lives there. Couldn't tell you what they look like because I don't care. And I've been here for, I don't know, 8, 10 years. No clue who my neighbors are, and I want to keep it that way. So contacting other people in groups, don't. That's really all I have to say about that. And we're going to stop this one right here, and we'll continue in the next episode. Thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Craft, and thanks for listening to this psychologically defective crazy guy.